Would you like to know the truth about the stories regarding me taking my trousers down?
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're looking at stars and celebs who have had career-ending scandals in the 2020s so far.
I take an awful lot of precautions. What I do is I make absolutely sure that it is a woman, then go for it.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Sarah Ferguson.
Any pathway back to respectability has been quickly closed.
The Duchess of York seemed to have got through the Epstein scandal without having her character called into question, despite ex-husband Prince Andrew, whom she still lives with and has done so for decades, having to disappear from public life over it. There were stories in the press going back years, but it wasn't until an email leaked in 2025 in which Fergie called Epstein a supreme friend that the mud began to stick.
And while the Duchess's spokesperson has suggested she was simply trying to prevent the man who'd loaned her thousands of pounds suing her for defamation, the difference between what she said and what she did has proved too much for the charities she worked with.
The email was dated to after Fergie had claimed she'd cut Epstein off in 2011, throwing her character into doubt. Numerous charities then severed ties with her over this, including various cancer charities she'd been a patron of for years.
Duchess of York is no longer a patron of Prevent Breast Cancer, and we have taken the decision that it would be inappropriate for her to continue to be associated with the charity.
Jay Blades.
A pedestal for two people. Is it all right to lift up and have a look?
Ex-foreman of the repair shop, Jay Blades, is probably the last person you expected to have a scandal of this magnitude, and yet he's now off our screens permanently while he fights various court cases. This began in September 2024 when his ex-wife accused him of coercive control, which he pleaded not guilty to in court the following month.
So what's the history behind this one then?
Next year though, and more allegations came out, with Blades being charged with serious sexual assault. He's pleaded not guilty to those two charges too, but the trial isn't set to begin until late 2027. The repair shop has since replaced Blades with Will Kirk and Dominic Chenier, who have been acting as co-foreman since Blades' departure.
We're almost happy with this now. Just want to try this in there.
Noel Clarke.
In April 2021, The Guardian was approached by two initial sources who were concerned about Mr. Clarke's behaviour and conduct towards women on film and TV sets.
After seeing him win a BAFTA, more than 24 women decided they couldn't keep silent about Noel Clarke's behaviour anymore, making serious allegations against him, including sexual misconduct. This also came off the back of fellow Doctor Who alumnus John Bowerman having a scandal of his own, though that was far less severe. With his career in tatters, Clarke decided to take the reports, all made in the press rather than through the police, to court, suing The Guardian for libel.
I'm really proud to work for a news organisation that did fight this all the way, and to now have had this judgment. It makes me more determined than ever to keep telling these kinds of stories.
In an English libel case, the onus is on the defendant to prove that they were telling the truth. In court, The Guardian won, and Clarke has now been ordered to pay at least £3 million to cover the paper's legal costs.
He has lost his High Court libel case, is the big thing that we now know. He'd been seeking £70 million in damages.
David Walliams.
Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, 4 judges, including one very handsome one, let's call him David, set off on an epic journey around the country.
The shine has well and truly come off of David Walliams recently. Once a light entertainment staple, in 2022 he was axed from Britain's Got Talent after somebody leaked a recording of him slagging off a contestant on the programme.
Right, let me come amongst you now, try and find my lucky voice.
He disappeared from the public eye for a while, though he has been attempting to sue Fremantle over this, until resurfacing in 2025 for a taping of Would I Lie to You. His behaviour leaked for a second time when it was revealed he'd made Nazi salutes, something the audience allegedly didn't laugh at one bit. He said that he's so afraid of repercussions for his actions that he's lost the ability to be funny.
But sometimes you say something that's just not funny at all. You go, well, I'm not being funny right now.
Yeah.
Phillip Schofield.
How old was this young man when you first had any kind of sexual contact with him?
20.
You knew you'd be seeing him again when you clicked on this video. Phillip unwise but not illegal Schofield has left ITV in shame after previously being one of its top paid stars, working in the industry for decades.
And then, in my dressing room one day, something happened.
His behaviour caught up with him though, and eventually he had to reveal that the rumours about his affair had been true all along, despite him assuring ITV and everybody else around him that it was just tabloid nonsense. He resigned from ITV, though later claimed that he'd been sacked, and ended up on all the front pages nationwide for about a fortnight. He's now said that Castaway is likely to be his last TV appearance.
I've got a bit of a shock. Right. I'm afraid you've been let go from this morning.
Gino D'Acampo.
Hey, 2.5 minutes. Took my dad 65 seconds to do me. So you can imagine in 2.5 minutes what I can do.
Another top ITV star in the firing line is Gino D'Acampo, who was raked over the coals in early 2025 following a long investigation by ITV News. Regarded by many as a hit piece, Gino denied all the allegations, including the most widely reported one where he told a junior member of staff that if he didn't get Gino a cornetto, he'd sleep with his girlfriend, albeit with more colourful language.
They described behaviour which they claim was unacceptable, distressing and horrendous. D'Acampo told ITV News he firmly denied the allegations.
His shows were all cancelled, and he's been left at a loose end. Rumour has it he's going to try and relaunch his career down under, and has pivoted to acting, getting a role as a mechanic in an upcoming Irish production.
I definitely saw it as some kind of power play. The very act of what he said was aggressive.
Giovanni Peniche.
I would get the producer saying, on the Friday, we've just watched the footage back, we are shocked and horrified, we're so sorry.
Another controversial Italian, professional dancer Giovanni Peniche ended up quitting Strictly in 2024 during the growing scandal. Strictly has remained a magnet for controversy since this all came out, while Peniche has denied it all. However, the BBC, which has all the footage from accuser Amanda Abbington's training sessions, though is apparently withholding it, has apologised to her.
There is evidence out there what happened in that room, and I'm not the one who's blocking.
Peniche has been starring on the Italian version of Strictly ever since, but the same can't be said for Graziano Di Prima, who admitted to kicking contestant Zara McDermott during training before getting the boot from Strictly himself. It's unlikely that either of them will revive their careers, not in Britain at least.
His past dance partners were getting in touch with you and saying what?
I'm so sorry.
Greg Wallace.
Now, in the newspaper, I can see the complaints coming from a handful of middle-class women of a certain age just from Celebrity MasterChef.
Perhaps the more notable part of Greg Wallace being sacked from MasterChef was that he just couldn't keep his mouth shut, digging his own grave over and over again through ill-advised Instagram posts. Allegations of inappropriate behaviour, including flashing and groping, led to Wallace's departure from primetime, and it later came out that allegations dated back decades. In the end, the BBC investigated and upheld 45 of the 83 complaints against him.
I mean, at the time I just thought he's just desperate for attention.
He's since deleted the posts criticising women and has said he's going to sue on discrimination grounds, claiming that his recently diagnosed autism is the reason he was taking his clothes off in front of vulnerable young women after inviting them to his dressing room.
So this is what Greg Wallace said to me in a restaurant. If you won't let me sleep with you, would you lick my arse?
Russell Brand.
He was allowed to say the unsayable, he was allowed to do the unthinkable, and consistently got away with it.
Once a prominent anti-establishment comedian, since a Channel 4 and Sunday Times investigation made myriad allegations against Brand, he's moved to Florida and become a born-again, Trump-supporting Christian. After profusely denying the allegations levied at him by dispatchers, he's since faced police investigations and in 2025 has been charged with multiple counts of assault by the Met.
Come on! Everyone
Everyone does it. Don't be afraid of your own sexuality. Do be a bit afraid of mine, though.
He's also been accused of similar crimes in a case filed in New York. We'll have to wait until 2026 for the trial to begin, but in the meantime, Brand's been flogging anti-5G medallions and has got chummy with Elon Musk and RFK Jr. over in the States.
Luckily, I wear this magical amulet from Airs-Tech that keeps me safe from all of the various signals out there.
Huw Edwards.
This was Edwards after he'd been caught for receiving more than 40 photos and videos.
While Russell Brand's demise isn't particularly surprising if you look back at his career, the same is not true for Huw Edwards. The BBC's most serious and austere newsreader, Edwards was paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a year and was trusted to break the news that the Queen had died. In 2023, though, it came out that he'd been accused of making indecent images.
Edwards claims a neurological disorder means he has no memory of viewing the images.
That investigation turned up nothing, but a subsequent one into different offences did. In 2024, he finally resigned and pleaded guilty to the offences. It's been the single most damning BBC scandal of the decade so far.
The BBC knew Huw Edwards had been arrested long before the public did, but kept paying him until he resigned.
Let us know in the comments which disgraced celebrities you think we forgot.